Lovely.
Assholes taking my moms, man. I'll have to pull more than one at a time, huh?
You can kiss your ass goodbye. Lovely.
Boop, doop, 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 boop. Killing Deadwoods. We are killing the shamans. There's a lot of people out here. This is a very busy area. from layer 3. See if we can get a different one. Oh, there we go. Instantly.
Lovely. You can kiss your ass goodbye.
No, I don't want to kiss my ass goodbye.
You were screwed. Lovely. Lovely.
Am I still in combat? Oh, fucking nice lag spike there. I went to drink and she didn't drink, so then I stood up and then she started to drink. Yeah, what's up, RJ? Yeah, I gotta farm these guys, man. I have to... Well, I mean, I don't have to farm them just yet. I'm just trying to do this particular quest, but I will be farming over in Winter Spring. There's gonna be so many people farming, man. So many people farming in Winter Spring. It's gonna be ridiculous. Because, you know, Skullflame shields go for 1,200 gold a pop, so... Gotta farm that gold, right? Can you believe the prices? RJ, can you believe the prices on this server? Holy shit.
Lovely.
The server seems really laggy today. It seems very laggy today. Since it's a... Well, yeah. Okay. I picked the wrong way. This guy's not worth shit. We'll kill him anyway, right? Got no manners. You know what? We need the buff. 4 minutes. Shit, we gotta get out of here. We gotta get out of here. Holy fuck. I gotta go get the dragon buff. Let's get some efficiency in these kills, man. And tariffs, yeah, tariffs are what it is. That's Trump. He's just trying to drive, he's trying to get businesses to stop manufacturing abroad and manufacture more in the United States, and he's trying to stop getting ripped off by the taxes by other countries, and he's trying to reduce the debt. So I'm not sure the way he's doing is the best way to do it, but that's what he's trying to do. So that's all I'm gonna say on that. You know, I mean, Trump's, what he's trying to do is good, but just the way he's doing it is rough. We'll see what happens. I mean, as long as the other countries turn around and stop fighting tariffs and they can agree together to something, you know, to work out some sort of zero tariff policy, then, you know, so we'll see what happens. I mean, Bitcoin's just went into the shitter today. I don't know why, really, to be honest, but it's down like 78 or something right now. Which is weird because it was holding so steady. And it just bounced off 79, so it's 79 too. So it's alright. As long as it gets back over 80k, I'll be fine. I'll be happy. Most of the Bitcoin I bought was bought at like 55k, so I'm way up. Yeah, I mean, whatever. I mean, the scary part about what's going on right now is that company is overreacting. You know, or companies like my company that I work for that does do a lot of business overseas. Is just what I'm worried about is companies going to start laying people off. You know, I don't want to get laid off because Trump decided to just put tariffs on everybody. You know what I mean? Like that's the sad part, is that there's going to be a lot of layoffs. A lot of people are going to lose their jobs. So, not much. How you doing, Exito? I think I'm gonna. Just trying to get to level 60. I try to not get too involved in it, RJ. You know what I mean? Trump's a lot better than Kamala. That's all I'm gonna say. Kamala was a fucking shit show. So Trump's kind of a shit show too, but he's a better shit show than Kamala. So with Kamala, the debt would just would have kept going down. At least with Trump, he's trying to do something. But that's about all I'm gonna say about politics. I'm gonna miss the buff by like fucking 2 seconds. Come on. I'm so close, and the buff can now be dropped in layer 3. Just wait like 1 more minute. Come on. Oh no, wait 1 more minute. Look at everybody flying to Stormwind, and they're all probably thinking the same thing I'm thinking. Shit. I don't see the head. Well, I don't see the head. Do these people have...
Be careful.
Okay, oh, good sign. These people don't have the buff. Good sign. That is a good sign. You know, people will. What's up, Sam? How you doing? Yeah. Well, what's yeah? Like I don't. Like I said, I don't really want to talk about it. I mean, all I'll say is what he's trying. What he's trying to do is he's just doing it in a very gruff, bully way. But you know, he's just trying to get the you know, and it's already working on some level. You know, Apple's already started building designs to build a plant in the United States because they have to. Most of Apple's stuff is manufactured in China. So what Apple's already doing is they're already putting together $1 billion plan to build an massive Apple manufacturing company here in the United States, which is what Trump wants. Trump wants the United States to manufacture their stuff in the United States, so people in the United States have jobs. You know, it just makes sense, right? That's what he's trying to do. That's one of the things he's trying to do. He's also trying to do a few other things, but so. You know, stop giving money to other countries. That's kind of what Trump's saying. Stop giving money to other countries. So, anyways, I don't want to talk about politics. You know, if you guys, I don't want to talk about politics. You know what I mean? I don't want to talk about it. You can sit here. I mean, you can sit here and say bad things about Trump, but Kamala would have been a shit show. She would have sat in there, sat in her hands, done absolutely nothing, and the debt would have just kept going down. Like the United States national debt would have continued to get bigger, not down, but up. Would have got bigger and bigger and bigger. You know, Biden didn't do shit. He was fucking not even there. Mentally, he was already gone. He was a fucking lame duck. And Kamala's a fucking LGBTQ fucking bitch. You know, she's just a waste of space. You know, get woke, get broke. You get woke, get fucking more in debt. That's what she would have done to us. So yeah, fuck. You know, fuck politics. I don't want to talk about politics. It's just gonna get me pissed. Trump's better than, all I gotta say is Trump's better than Kamala. Kamala would have been a shit show. She wouldn't have done anything. She would have been the status quo, which is what last couple presidencies, well, the last one has been anyway, so. What is the purple bar next to your health? That is actually just a mana ticker. So, like every time, here, let's see if I drop a trap, right? Every time this hits the end, that's when the manas should go up. You know, once the 5-second rule is expired, right? You can see it didn't go right away because you know, you can't regen mana for 5 seconds after using an ability. So once the 5-second rule is expired, every time that reaches the end, that's when you'll be given your mana. So, yeah. It's only for drinking while it's for mana. It's for drinking while moving, right? So like if I'm in a dungeon and I'm trying to drink while moving. What I'll do, like, here, let me show you.
Greetings. Go with honor.
Did it not go there? Where'd it go? What the fuck? Where'd my water go? There. So what you do is you start to drink, right? So you're moving, drink. Boom, it moved. Moving, drink. You know, drink. So if you just time it right about, usually right in the middle, you know, you can just drink. As soon as that hits the end, move. Drink, move. Drink. You know, you have to kind of play around with it, but it'll let you, if you're trying to move through a raid or something, and you just don't want to be, you don't want to be sitting here drinking to full while the whole raid is moving on. It also, so it's just something that you can do. It's probably more necessary for like, you know, like healers, healers who are trying to get their health back up. Paladins, it's really good for paladins because paladins obviously always run out of mana in between pulls, but people don't wait for you as a paladin to get your mana back. So you literally can run to the next pull as a paladin, but drink in between, in between those ticks and get a lot of your mana back. Of course, the downside is you're going to burn through mana drink like, insanely quickly. Right. Oh, we got the dragon buff. Perfect. What do we want to do? Let's do...
Greetings.
Nah, I gotta do Winter Spring. Yeah, it's good for... It's useful. I found it useful on my hunter just because... I found it useful on my hunter because what happens is, especially as a melee hunter, like I burn through my mana, pretty much almost all my mana on every fight as a hunter, and rogues don't. So like rogues are always up and fighting again instantly. So they're like, so I can't compete on the damage meter a lot. Which the reason I want to compete on the damage meter is I want people to see that melee hunter actually can be pretty viable if you know how to play it correctly. But so you have to kind of try to find ways to eliminate, you know, those situations where you're not doing DPS, where you're drinking, you know, and that was one of the ways I found is to, you know, use item rack, get yourself a spirit set. So every time you do drink, you know, your spirit set's on. I kind of went away from that because item rack's a little buggy. It doesn't always work right. So I kind of went away from that. But the other thing is just, you know, just drink walking, you know, drink walking. You know, if you can get like 3 ticks in, because remember, every tick's going to give you like, you know, like 250 mana or something. If you get like 3 ticks in, I mean, you get yourself like 750 mana or something, and then the regular mana ticks that are gonna go in. I mean, you might get the 1,000 mana just moving from one pool to the next, which is pretty good, you know. No, I haven't. No, I haven't done any of those, man. You see the Onyxia Chain quest? I don't know what part of the... like, is the True Masters... which one's the Onyxia Chain quest? Let me see. Because I've done some quests. And I can't remember which one it is. Let's see. It starts with... Where does it start? Alliance. Yeah, I'm on the True Masters, which I think is the... I think that's the Onyxia quest, right? Storm and Keep, then speak to Lady such and such, blah blah blah, the True Masters, and then the quest starts at Morgan's Vigil, Blackrock Depths. Yeah, so I am on the... I think it's this one. So I am on Speak to Ragged John to learn of Marshall Windsor's fate. So where's that at? Speak to Ragged John. So Burning Steps. So I am... I think... Where's Ragged John at? Looks like I maybe need to go over here to this cave right here and speak to Ragged John. I believe that's where I'm at. So, yeah. But I'm not in a guild. I've joined a couple guilds the last few days, and I've quit them almost the same day, just because I'm like, if I join a guild and I don't see people talking in the guild, I'll just quit. You know, if I'm in a guild and nobody's talking, what's the point of being in a guild? And if I'm in a guild and everybody's talking, but they're not talking about World of Warcraft, then I'm going to quit. Like, to me, the guild should be about playing the game. The focus should be playing the game. I don't want to hear about your politics. I don't want to hear about your boyfriend. I don't want to fucking hear about your girlfriend. I don't give a shit, right? If I'm in your guild, it's only because I'm there to do WoW stuff. You know what I mean? That's it. Exactly. I'm not here to talk politics. I'm not here to talk about your fucking boyfriend. I'm here to play World of Warcraft and have fun. You know, and the biggest thing I do in WoW is I try to just play around different builds, and I try to discover different ways to play classes and make them, you know, fun. You know, that's what I like to do. You know, I like to try, because I've done the cookie cutter builds. You know, anybody can play a cookie cutter marksman build. That's boring as fuck, right? Like I can build a cookie cutter marksman build and go into, you know, a dungeon and probably be top DPS, and it'd be easy, but that's boring, you know. The two builds I have right now are both kind of off. They're both weird builds. I have two bizarre builds right now. Like I've got dual, right? So I've got this build, which is a kind of a melee hunter build, but it's a build I've never used before. So I've gone down, I've grabbed lightning reflexes, I've grabbed counterattack, and I've grabbed killer instinct. And actually, this is the wrong build. I'm sorry. This one here. So I've grabbed lightning reflexes, counterattack, and killer instinct. But I've gone into the Beastmaster tree to grab endurance strength just because I have to, because I want to get improved aspect of the monkey, because I want the dodge. And then instead of going thick high, which I normally would do, just so my pet actually can tank a little bit, I've forgone that and just decided to say screw that and just gone straight DPS. So we're 57. We get 3 more talent points. Well, we get 58, 59, 60. All of those are going to go into just straight DPS. Oh, well, I'm not talking about raids. Like in raids, unfortunately in raids, I'll have to run marksman, right? In raids, RJ, I'll have to run marks. No one's going to take me as a melee, and rightly so. I mean, to be honest, rightly so, because the problem in raids is I don't think that a lot of the pools are going to be, you don't get as like the big group pools. Like where melee hunter works pretty well is if there's large pools with lots of mobs, because a lot of your damage is AoE damage with your explosive trap. Your single target damage isn't quite as good, although you can still do immolation trap and still get good damage with that. But if you're going into raids where the monsters have a lot of fire resistance, that's really going to kill your damage, right? Big time. So molten core, probably, like your damage is going to just be totally killed by fire resist. I imagine most of the mobs in molten core probably have fire resistance, I'm assuming. So yeah, then you're just looking at, marksman build is going to be, way, way, way better. So I mean, I completely get it that people are going to want marks, but I still think you can do. Hold on a second. I still think you can do raids with like a hybrid spec. Okay, Bitcoin's bouncing up a little bit. It's almost up to 80K. But I think that would be more like my primary build. Now, my primary build here is what I'm using for Ultrak Valley. So this is more of a PvP build. I call this like my harasser build. What this build is all about is using entrapment and improved traps to basically just slow the horde down at choke points. So I'm focusing on trapping the horde, slowing, slow traps, and basically just being a nuisance to the horde and choke points on the map in Ultrak Valley. Just trying to help defend points. That's what this build's all about, is PvP. So those are my 2 builds. Rep Paladins and Esprit of BWM. So how you doing? Maybe I should just join your guild, RJ. You're on this server, aren't you? Yeah, it'd be better than Hunter last turn. He had rank 1 True Shot Aura. Oh, he leveled his BM. What do I have? I mean, I don't have True Shot Aura now, but if I picked it up, I pretty much have everything. The build I have right now is kind of fun. Actually, one thing I've been doing is I've been exploring different weapons, and I found out that the Assassination Blade actually beats out the Flurry Axes. So it is still more like a rogue type thing. I've never been able to try out like a really, really powerful two-hand weapon because I'm just so worried about when you miss with your two-hand, it's so fucking punishing. But yeah, the double Assassination Blade, because of the slow main hand, 2.7 attack speed of the main hand, the crits are so much bigger, and the Assassination Blade has 1% crit off each, so you get 2% crit. Plus I have plus 15 agility on each, which is going to give me about 0.75% crit. So you're getting 2.75% crit just when I equip those 2 weapons versus the Flurry Axes, which don't have any crit. And the Flurry Axes are good because they're fast and the extra attacks. But the problem with the Flurry Axes, the main hand, is it's 1.5 attack speed. So the top end damage is so low that the crits are low. Your crits aren't coming in very good. It's too bad there isn't. I guess, yeah, you've got the one extra attack weapon that comes from, what is it, Maradon or whatever, but it's such low level, I'm sure it's probably not any good. Thrash Blade would be too low level. I thought about grabbing the Axe of the Deep Woods, or actually what would be the better one would be the Crawl Blade, but surprisingly, Crawl Blade doesn't do that. For an epic, Crawl Blade doesn't do that much more damage than the Assassination Blade. Assassination Blade was a blue item. It has a top end damage of 132. Crawl Blade's only like 142. It's not like huge. It's not like a huge difference. It's like, do you want to pay like 800 gold to upgrade your 37.6 DPS to like 40 something? Here, let's look up the Crawl Blade. It's not worth it. It just isn't, man. But it's got the 1% crit on it, and it also has 7 strength. But yeah, it just isn't. If you look at it here, look, it's only 40.89. But it's 149 DPS. So yes, it is going to be, that is actually that is pretty good. You're going to get 17 more top end. So it is going to crit a lot harder. So Crawlblade would be pretty good for the main hand. I've tried a couple different things. I've tried using Flurry on my offhand. I don't know. Thrashblade might be worth it because of the extra attack. I don't know what the damage is on it. Let's take a look. It could be worth looking into. Let's see. Let's go. Okay, so it's 35, so 2.7, but you lose the crit. So it probably would be better than Assassination. But again, if there's anything, the one thing you learn in any MMO, RJ, is that crit is king, man. I said this yesterday. Crit's king. It's hard to overcome raw crit percentage, right? Like if you equip another weapon that does more damage, but you lose like a full % crit, it can lose out. It can just straight up lose out. But now you're like looking at my crit now, I'm at 21.73%, which doesn't make sense because it says here melee and ranged it says increases the critical strike chance of melee and ranged by 5%. I thought my base crit was higher than that, so I'm surprised that it's only 20 something. So I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe some Spanish. I don't know. I don't know. But that's okay. Continent Eridor. Eridor. What is that? Sounds like a different continent. Yo no sé. Mis padres no están en casa. No están en el... Yeah, yo no sé. It's just every time I come over here, there's so many people doing these quests,
Lovely. Lovely. Lovely.
You know, I'm not much of a raider, RJ. Hey, RJ, you didn't answer my question. Is your guild's on this server, isn't it? Isn't your guild on this server? I should just join your guild. They seem like they're halfway decent. You know what I mean? Like, they seem like at least they're more relaxed and not too insane about who they let in. They're not too min-max anyway. Been with them since 2023. Cool.
Lovely. Lovely.
That's pretty good. We set a hard cap on raid time. What are the raid times? 7:30 to 10:30. So they have to start at 7:30 server time and they have to end at 10:30. So if the raid doesn't complete by 10:30, you're just done. This is boring. Be interesting. I'm not here to entertain you. I'm not here to entertain you, bitch. I'm not here to entertain your ass. Fucking bitch. I'm here to play a game and enjoy myself. If people want to come and watch, they are welcome to, but I'm not here to entertain your ass. Go fucking watch some streamer who is fake shit. Who acts like a fucking jackass, acts like a gorilla, puts on a fucking gorilla suit. You can go watch them if you want to be entertained. That's not my modus operandi, man. I think I'm done with this. Yeah.
Lovely.
Oh. Oh. I knew there was a helm that was crit, but it's only fucking leather, man. Eh. Still, 1% crit's not bad, but you lose out on agility. You lose out on a ton of shit. That's not worth it. Lag. Must be on your end. My connection is excellent. Yeah, I think I've reached the point, RJ, where I can't really do a whole lot more with building out my character without doing raids. I need raid gear. Although there is the PvP gear that's going to be really interesting. So the PvP gear could be quite powerful. So that's what I'm focusing on right now. I just don't play well with others. That's the problem. You know, I don't always play well with others because most people are going to sit there and try to tell me how to play my character, and then I'm just going to be like, "Fuck you." You know what I mean? I would never tell other people how to play their character. So people can be like, "Oh, you do it this way. Oh, you suck. Oh, what?" You know what I mean? That kind of bullshit. I don't put up with that crap. Like I don't tell you how to play your character, so don't fucking tell me how to play mine. You can do like 3 or 4 packs from last one. Well, that's cool, but that's good. I think that's good. I think it's good that your guild keeps the stuff on like a schedule because raids can get really long. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I see what you're saying. I think that's good though. I think it's good. You know, because raids can go a really long time, and I think it's good to keep things on a schedule. You know, I did raiding back in 2004, 2005, 2006, 2007, and sometimes it was fucking ridiculously how long the raids went.
Lovely. Lovely.
Oh, we got 3 of them.
Lovely. Lovely. You can kiss your ass goodbye.
You gonna attack him, buddy? You're just gonna look at him. What are you doing?
You can kiss your ass goodbye.
I don't think so.
Lovely.
Of course, these are just random mobs, so nothing.
Welcome. Be good. Keep your feet on the ground.
Your feet on the ground. No herbs, no mobs. It is tough to get shit done on this server because it's so populated. Like, everywhere you go, like I hardly see that many herbs on this server, to be honest. Which is crazy. Like, you're running through zones and you see very little herbs. Which means there's a shit ton of people on Epic Mouse just flying around, I guess, getting them. It's the only thing I can think of. And when you do quests like this, it's difficult to kill the quest mobs because there's so many people killing them. Yeah. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I wouldn't do a raid. I wouldn't raid with a melee hunter. I just wouldn't because it wouldn't work. I mean, I've never tried. I guess it depends on the raid, but you know, obviously in Molten Core it's not going to work because a lot of my damage is fire damage, so that just wouldn't work. I mean, see, this is what I'm talking about, though. You just look at this. I run through. Okay, there's one mob, right? We got one mob. We got one mob. Wait, we got 2 mobs.
Lovely. Lovely.
I haven't seen an herb yet since we entered the zone, though. Which is kind of crazy. Yeah, but it'd be tough to run like a melee hunter build in a raid. You pretty much have to run marks, which kind of sucks, you know. I've always, if you're going to make an MMO, you have to make the specs viable. Like, you have 3 talent trees. Every talent tree should be viable. Like, if it's not viable, then why did you create it? I mean, why did you create it? You know what I mean? I mean, and it's not like it's rocket science. Like, for example, if you've got like a survival build, and there are survival builds that could work, but they wouldn't, you know, they would have no points in BM, right? Because you would have to go into marksman, right? So you could go with the survival build, and you could do survival. I shouldn't say that. You can do survival build and have it be really good. It's not going to be bad, but you're not going to be melee. You're going to be ranged, you know. So what I'm trying to say is there's not really any melee-based builds that are going to work very well in most raid situations. Even like BM doesn't work well in most raid situations simply because the pet damage doesn't really scale with your damage, which is why Turtle WoW tried to address that. And also your pet just dies too easily. You know, he dies too easily. You spend so much time with your pet dead, which of course your pet's, if you're doing full BM, your pet's doing like, you know, like 40% of your damage at least probably. So he dies, you're losing a ton of damage. Yeah, I think well, there's the build that I have on my PvP build, which is this one. This one's actually not that bad because you still have aimed shot and you have lightning reflexes. What you're missing is you don't have mortal shots, and you don't have any improved hunter's mark. And that's really all you're missing is mortal shots, because most builds are gonna have mortal shots, and they might have, like, I don't know, barrage or something, you know. But yeah, but with that build, you get you get lightning reflexes, and you get 3% crit, and you're getting lightning reflexes, which is about another 0.5% crit. So you're getting 3.5% more crit, and you're getting a lot more ranged attack power because it's increasing your your agility. Ooh, lo and behold, an actual herb! I can't believe it. An actual herb.
Lovely.
Oh, is it? Yeah, Druid I think's cool. Well, Druid reminds me a lot of Paladin. In that, like, not so bad. I mean, Paladin, a lot of people are gonna say Paladin kind of sucks, right? For classic, like, it's not the best tanks. They are good healers though. People will say that Paladins are good healers, but I've seen Druid healers who are fantastic. Who are really good healers in dungeons. But I haven't done any raids in so long. I mean, honestly, I'm so out of touch with what people consider, the meta. So, I mean, I could be way off base. I just remember when I did raids, the Druids were pretty, when we did Molten Core, Druid healers were pretty good. They weren't bad. You read Fridays and Saturdays? Cool. It's a good time for me. I mean, that 7's, my wife could probably wouldn't be bad. Yeah, why don't you toss me a guild invite, and if I can get my character to 60 and get some decent gear, maybe I can. Are you still doing Molten Core? I need to do Molten Core because I need to get the hunter leaf, whatever it is, to start the hunter. Whatever legendary quests to get the staff and the bow and all that, which I've never done before, by the way, but would be cool to do. Would be cool to do. See, I don't even know what that means. Like, whenever people start saying main spec, off spec, two something and main spec, off spec plus 1, I don't know what that means. I know MSOS means main spec, off spec, but I never really, like I said, I don't raid. So I don't even know what that means, man. I'm not a raider. I mean, I raided way back. I was one of the original raiders. Because you got to realize, in vanilla, in 2005, only 10% of the player base even raided. Like, when Burning Crusade came out, only 10% of the player base had completed, like, Molten Core. 10%. Keep that in mind, right? And I was one of the 10%. I completed Molten Core in the original game, right? But then once like Burning Crusade came out, raids became really, they started to become just really shit shows. Like people arguing, stuff not going well, people not following directions. And I just got to the point where I was more focused on PvP. You know, the PvP arenas came out, so I became much more of a PvP player. And I did thousands and thousands of arena matches, and I did lots of, you know, 2s teams and 3s teams in TBC and Wrath of the Lich King. So I stopped doing PvE and raiding to focus more on PvP. I don't know what that means, though. What does 2SRMSOS plus 1 mean? And we encourage WS in our guild by offering a 3rd strength if you have them. Well, I don't know what that means either. Dude. Isn't it funny that I played WoW since 2004 and you start talking that weird raid shit lingo and I have no idea what you're talking about? WBS in our guild by offering a 3rd SR if you have them. No idea what you're talking about. All right, we're gonna just we're gonna track humans, and we're gonna have to start cheating here. I hate to track humans just simply because then we lose out on seeing herbs. We have to visually see them. But man, it is so hard to kill in Winter Spring on a crowded server. You can just see there's like no mobs. There's too many people fighting for the same mobs. Sucks. Okay. How are you getting behind so much? My connection is showing as, like, excellent. Like, if I pull my stream up on my phone, I guarantee you it's very responsive. Let's take a look. I'm pulling up on my phone. I'm going to move my character. 1001. Okay, that was like a 4-second delay. I pulled up the stream on my phone, and then I moved my character, and in about 3.5 seconds, my character moved on my phone. So literally like a 3.5, 4-second delay. But obviously, I'm in the same location with my phone as where my computer is streaming from, so that helps a little bit. It's no crazy. Oh my god, let's kill this dude. Where are you, man? RJ, are you in Russia or something?
Lovely.
Main spec roles get priority over off spec roles, and if you win a non-main spec role, then you gain +1 if someone without a +1 rolls. If you get WBS equals world buffs. Alright, hold on a second, let me... Ooh, an herb. Two SRMSOS +1. I still don't fully understand what it all says because you said if you win a I don't know what SRED is. You said if you win a non-SRED main spec rolled item. I don't know what SRED is. Unless you're saying a non-spec main. No, that's not what it is. Okay, well, I understand the +1 part. That just means... Oh. Get my ice cap. soft. Oh, soft reserved item. People still reserve items. I think the only thing that should be reserved would be something would be for like a main tank. Like if you're trying to build up like your main tank's gear, so obviously so he can be a better tank. To me, that's like the only that or the healer. Healers and tanks should really be the only people to get. I think that should have reserved items because it makes sense. You know, you want your healer to have stronger heals. You want your tank to be able to take more damage. Is the difference between hard reserve and soft reserve? Yeah, I see some herbs starting to come out. Hard reserve is an item that I gotta read this shit. There's a difference between hard reserve and soft reserve. Hard reserve is an item that is being prioritized to tanks for progression, which I agree with. And soft reserving is basically picking 2 or 3 items you want the most, and only others who prioritize them do. Oh, okay, that makes sense. That's cool. I like that. That's kind of cool because but the thing is, I would be rolling obviously a lot as off spec because I would be prioritizing items that would be focused on melee, even though I'd be rating probably as, you know, in some sort of a marksman build. I guarantee you my soft reserved items would all be focused probably around, you know, melee. And I would like to get the staff, the Lockdar staff, because I would like to see how well that would work in it for melee, you know, as a melee hunter. Like beating people up with that staff could be pretty interesting. Because it's like big damage, right? Could be interesting, you know. But the items I'm really looking to get are male items with a lot of agility and crit. Anything with agility and crit is what I'd be, you know, agility, crit, hit rating, obviously some hit rating. But I am going to go get the PvP gear, right? So, you know, I'm looking at getting all of the, at least at the very beginning, I'm going to be getting the commander's, you know, I'll be getting all this gear, which has a shit ton of crit rating on it, by the way. It has like 6 or 7 crit on it. We offer an incentive soft reserve as well if you have world buffs. That way world buffs aren't required, but your incentive... Oh, okay, I got it. Yeah, I would definitely try to get world buffs. Although I don't know how I could get the Dire Maul buffs, but you'd have to... That has to be orchestrated by the guild, right? You have to get people to summon you in there and pick those up. I don't remember quite how to do that, but you got to get summoned in to get the Dire Maul buffs. But yeah, I mean, I could certainly grab Songflower and I don't know, what other ones are there? Songflower, Onyxia buff, and maybe a few. I don't know of any other world. What are all the world buffs? There's a lot of individual buffs that are not world buffs. You know, like Mongoose, obviously, the Winterfall, like the Mojo or whatever it's called. There's that one. You can buy them or run a DMT run. It's about 5 gold from a hunter who has cleared. Oh, is that it? 5 gold? Shit, that's... Really? So you're saying a hunter would charge you 5 gold to go in there and get it? That's like cheap as shit. You was randomly on classic area the other day. Summons to anywhere are 50 gold now. Oh my god. Everything in this game is just so expensive. Insane. There's nothing I hate more than fighting people. I hate fighting people for mobs. I can't stand it. Like, one thing I hate in an MMO is trying to kill mobs and fighting other people for those mobs. I literally, like, hate it. You know, I like go do something else. 'Cause it's no fun. There's no fun about riding around in circles waiting for a mob to spawn. It's like one of the most annoying things in the game, right? But unfortunately, these quests need to be done. But yeah, so annoying. It's pretty funny that my pet can't hold threat. Like, he just cannot hold threat. Like, I've got my pet's growl on, but he cannot hold threat. It sucks. You know? At 58, we probably maybe get another growl rank at 15. At 58, I mean. Let's see. Okay, now at 60. At 60, we get our last rank of growl. Yeah, this is really... I mean, I won't even do this. I won't sit in a spot and just wait for mobs to spawn so I can complete a quest. It's just... I'd rather go do a dungeon than deal with this shenanigans. Your grilled squid stocks in. Should we get about 400 gold from it? That's cool. We'll hit the town over here. See what we can get done. I don't know how much longer RJ I'm going to be in. I don't know how much longer I'm going to be in WoW. I mean, the only reason I play WoW is because there's not anything better, but I really want there to be something better, you know? If RuneScape Dragon Wilds came out and it was... But see, the RuneScape Dragon Wilds, in my mind, isn't a real MMO. That's not a real MMO. It's more like a Valheim, you know? I mean, they haven't said, like, how many people are going to be in the world. Like, it sounds to me like it's more like Valheim, where you, like, can spin up a server and, like, they'll be shared, you know, maybe there'll be, like, 20 people in there. I just don't know what it's going to be like. And I can't play a game that's like that. A game has to be open world, has to support thousands of players. If it doesn't, then I don't really want to play it. Just checking for any herbs. Herbalicious. But honestly, the best herbs are going to be around the edges, around the mountains. I bet all they give is 60 gear. Requires, yeah, all this is gonna require. So I gotta get to 60. I gotta get to 60.
Hey, how you doing? Keep it real.
What's up? Glad I could help.
You got my attention. Yo! Have a good one. What's up? Be good.
Too bad there's no way to jump over the wall here. Oh, so close. Come on, really? No. No. Shit. Shit snacks. No. Damn.
Ishnu Allah.
Ishnu Allah.
Lovely. Lovely. Lovely.
I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
You can kiss your ass goodbye.
Oh, my pet's freaking hungry. I didn't notice that. Wonder why his damage was, why his threat was down. Probably because he was hungry. It's a tricky series of jumps. $35. He was really hungry. Shit. That boy was hungry. He's holding threat better now. He's actually probably doing some damage. Are they? Yeah, I'd rather get the Mountain Silver Sage, because it's used for Mongoose. Let's go up here and see if we can find some herbs. Let's look for some herbs. I play MMOs to relax, you know, like I don't force like an agenda on me anymore. You know, I have goals sort of, but they're soft goals. You know what I mean? Raiding is a soft goal. It's not a hard target. I don't have to raid. You know, I can still play the game without raiding and have fun. It just sucks, you know, I can't. Is WoW better than other MMOs today? Yeah, well, it's better than most MMOs. I mean, and I'm talking about classic WoW. I'm not talking about retail WoW, because retail WoW is a steaming pile of dog shit. Why is it better? One of the biggest reasons it's really good is because it is a very active and healthy population on specific servers. You know, first off, you got to have an active population. You have to have people playing the game. You know, it's no fun to play on a game where it's kind of dead. And you have to play on a game where people are excited to be there, right? Like, there's games out there that have decent populations, but people are on there. You talk to them, and it just sounds like they're just like, oh, yeah, this game's not as good as it used to be, that kind of shit. You know, you don't want to hear that. Sometimes when I go on, like, an ESO, Elder Scrolls Online server, I feel like that's the way it is. Yeah, the server's dying. This game's dying. I don't want to hear that, you know? Yeah, that's how I play. I play WoW mostly by myself. I don't do a lot of stuff with other people, just because I have a hard time getting along with the other people in the game, because I'm older and not young, and I just like to do my own thing. So. But yeah, there just aren't that many good MMOs out there. I think there's a lot of MMOs out there I'd rather play than WoW, but the reason I don't play those is because they're dead. Like if like, for example, There's plenty of Terra private servers. Although Terra's not a good example because the version of Terra on the private servers is garbage. I would say like Lord of the Rings Online, Realm of Reckoning, Warhammer Online. Those are games I would love to play if they were really populated. You know what I mean? Black Desert, no, because Black Desert in the end, like if you're doing like life skilling, like if you're just doing like farming and shipbuilding or whatever, fishing, sure you can have fun, but if you're going to actually try to do stuff to progress, like level your character up or do PvP stuff, it's just, I don't like the PvP in Black Desert. I don't like the idea that people can just go up and like basically almost one-shot you. It's just Black Desert PvP, it's one of those games where it just was like you get off a couple stun locks and if you know what you're doing, people are just dead. It's like, oh, I surprised you, you're stunned, boom, 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 you're dead. I'm not a fan of that at all. I just think that sucks. So, and a lot of that's just skill cap you have to learn, but it's even when you know it, it just seems kind of fruitless, I don't feel any kind of, it doesn't feel good to me, so. But Black Desert Online was a great game when it came out, but they nerfed the leveling experience. One of the things I like about MMOs is I like the journey of leveling a character up. I like the feeling of slow progressive, how your character gets more powerful over time. And so most MMOs, unfortunately, especially if they've been out for a while, that's completely gone. I mean, the leveling experience usually, max level in like a couple hours, you know what I mean? And then, to me, that you've taken away some of the most fun aspects of the game. Because at max level, then people are just doing stuff that, a lot of times, isn't stuff that I really enjoy that much. Like, I don't really enjoy raiding, to be honest. I just don't. I just feel like 40 different people or 20 different people arguing and, if you're in a good guild, of course, it's probably good, but it's good luck finding a good guild, So, I don't know. It's tough. It's really tough, it's tough. Plus, back in the day when, this is the herb that I really want to get, is the Silver Sage. Back in the day, when WoW was brand new, the internet wasn't like it is today, so you couldn't just go online and look everything up. There wasn't those kind of resources, And there was still a little bit of mystery, and people still had to help each other to some degree. Now that everybody knows, you'll find this out with any MMO, any new MMO when it launches. Everybody's nice to you. You're like, oh, why is everybody so nice to me? You know why they're nice to you? Because they don't know everything about the game. If the game didn't have a beta or something where they revealed everything about the game, about the mechanics, and you're playing an MMO for the first time day one, and nobody really knows the game, everybody's nice. Isn't that funny how that works? Everybody's, oh yeah, they're so nice because they don't fucking know the game. As soon as people feel like they're an expert in the game, they turn into the biggest dicks of all time, right? They're like, I don't need you. They call you a noob, or if you ask for help, they give you the wrong answer, or it's just a shit show. So I enjoy MMOs where people are really nice and friendly, and they're cooperative, and they're trying to actually help each other. You're actually trying to help people get better, and you're doing stuff together, but in a fun way. And the people are active, and they get online and they say, hey, does anybody want to do this? Does anybody want to do that? People not like they get online and start talking about politics or talking about stupid shit. I'm here to play the game, not talk about, like I said, not talk about your girlfriend or your boyfriend or your mother or something that Asmongold did on his stream. I don't give a shit about Asmongold. I'm just here to play the game and have fun with the game. The game, to me, it's about escape. It's about getting away from the real world. That's why I play MMOs, because I want to get away from the real world, because the real world sucks, right? The real world sucks. I got a job. I got to go work Monday through Friday. It sucks. You think I like my job? Fuck no, I don't like my job, right? Do I hate my job? No, I don't hate my job. I have a great job. I get paid tons of money. I have a great job. Do I like my job? Not really, because there's things I'd rather be doing, with my time, And that's 80% of America, or 60 or 70% of America would probably say the same thing. Most people aren't really happy. So WoW is a way to, or MMOs is a way to do something that you want to do that's enjoyable, to kind of forget about the things in life that maybe you're frustrated with, you know what I mean? No politics. I agree with that, RJ. No politics. I don't want to talk about politics. Anyways, but to me, the MMO, and I've talked about this so many times, but to have a good MMO, it's really, you have to have an MMO that's where everything is challenging. Everything should be challenging. Nothing should be easy, right? There shouldn't be too much magic in the game. In fact, magic should be incredibly, incredibly rare. And there should be all these systems in the game that promote progression that have nothing to do with your armor, have nothing to do with your stats, and they have nothing to do with your individual power level. Oh, I don't want to do, nah. I don't. Let me get out of here. I don't want to run the whole BRD. Let's get rid of this. I don't want to run BRD anymore. There should be all kinds of cool stuff about crafting, stuff around like exploration. There shouldn't be a world map. There's no world map. There's no town maps. Everything should be, you have to discover it and you have to remember it, or maybe create your own maps, or maybe there's maps that are sold in game by NPCs in a city, but that map would just be a map of the city and it would be incredibly rough. And in a lot of ways, it might even be inaccurate. You know, it might not even be accurate. You should have a true day-night cycles where it gets very dark. You should have lots of dynamic events where everything changes all the time. It shouldn't always be the same. Like when I go from here to Winter Spring, maybe sometimes I get attacked by a group of bugbears. Maybe sometimes I get attacked by a wyvern. Maybe sometimes I get attacked by a wild boar. There should be random dynamic events that are you never know what's going to happen. It should always be more dangerous at night than it is during the day. At nighttime, monsters should be much more powerful than they are during the day. And there should be some survival elements. I think all MMOs should have some survival elements. I don't like the fact that I can just run around, never eat anything, never drink anything, and I'm fine. And I don't think you should be able to just fight nonstop without suffering some sort of fatigue where you have to go and rest to recuperate. You know? You know? WoW sometimes feels more like a survival game. I never played Days. I never played PUBG. Never played DayZ. I mean, I've played. Yeah, PUBG's not my kind of game. I played Fortnite for like a day, and I was like, this isn't my kind of game. Only because I came too late to the party, you know, and everybody was already like an expert, and you just go in there and get your ass handed to you. It's like I don't want to sit here and get my ass handed to me for like 3 weeks before I get good at it. Yeah, I played Rust for like an hour. Those games really aren't my kind of game. Those are more survival based games, you know. And a lot of those games revolve around some PvP where you can attack people's stuff and take everything they own, and that's not really for me. I think there should be survival elements, but I don't think the game should be that hardcore survival. I like stuff like Elden Ring, and I don't like Elden Ring as far as the boss fights because I don't like the boss fights. I think they're just a little bit too brutal and too many cheese mechanics, and I don't really enjoy the combat that much. I especially don't like the lock on. I don't think you should ever have to lock on. To me, like Terra-like combat is pretty much the best combat. You should just be like when you swing your weapon, so there should be somebody in front of you. You have to, and if they're not in front of you, you're going to miss, right? You should be able to. You have to aim your attack. If you're shooting your bow, it would be like Skyrim. You actually have to aim. And I don't like I don't like tap target games, unfortunately, where you just click on mob and press a button and you're on 100% you're going to hit. I don't really like that. So, you follow my channel. I appreciate it, Fred. So, yeah, my channel's kind of on the decline, I think, to be honest. Not that it's ever been a big channel at all, because it's not. But I don't play as much as I used to, because I'm married and my wife has a lot of medical problems. So I spend a lot of time trying to be there for her, so I don't play quite as much as I used to. And honestly, I'm bored of World of Warcraft. I've been bored of WoW for years, but it's just there isn't any good MMOs out there. There just isn't. You know, and when I start talking about it, it makes me more burned out on WoW. Like if I start talking about it, then it makes me not want to play WoW. Like there's so many times I'll start playing WoW and then someone will bring up, what's your favorite, what do you like in MMOs? And the next thing you know, I'm logging out because of WoW, because I'm like, this isn't my favorite thing. There's things in WoW that I like, of course, but I've evolved and we've all evolved. You know what I mean? All of us as MMO players, if you've played as long as I have, since like around, 1999, we've all evolved. And, we're bored of doing the same stuff. There's got to be something. But the single biggest thing that MMOs get wrong, this is a fact, the single biggest thing that MMOs get wrong is the challenge, okay? The difficulty. Things in MMOs are generally way too easy. Monsters, too easy to kill. Quests, too easy to complete. Crafting, too easy to do. You know what I mean? Everything's hand fed to you. Everything's just given to you. Things are like, oh, you look at somebody, oh, it says, oh, level 60 undead priest. Why does it say that? Level 60 undead priest, utterly fantastic member. What? I've never talked to that person. Why would I know they're even an undead priest? Why would I know what their level is? None of that should be shown. Like if I'm in an MMO and I click on someone, all I should see is a name. That's it. I should not know their level. I shouldn't know their class. I shouldn't know anything. Now I can try to glean their class or their level based on what gear they're wearing. Oh yeah, look at this. They got cloth on. They're probably some kind of caster. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm not a fan of just giving away all that kind of information. But this is what I hate. I don't like playing an MMO where I can't even, because I don't like doing quests to begin with. I fucking hate quests, to be honest. I can't stand questing. I've been so burned out on questing. And so when I'm forced to do a quest, it's even worse when I can't even do it. It's like, I don't want to do this quest. But now I can't even do it because there's no fucking mobs. Because there's too many people killing them. So it's like, it makes it 10 times worse. It's like, I don't even want to be, it makes the length of me trying to do it like 10 times longer. And it's like, I already fucking hate this. And now I got to run around with people who have epic mounts trying to do this shit. And I can't even, I can't even do it. Look at this. There's fucking people all over the place riding around epic mounts trying to kill these mobs. You think me on a non-epic mount's going to have much of a chance? Sure, but it's going to take me like, the quest is going to take 10 times longer than it should, at least. It's just, it's not even fun. It's like, why, this kind of shit should never happen, right? Go up here. Okay, here's a mob. Oh, we found a mob. I knew this would probably be the only place we could find one, some up here.
Lovely.
Yeah, but I'm done. I can't play this game like this. I can't play a game where I gotta run around and compete with fucking 5 other people on epic mounts just to kill a fucking mob. It's lunacy. I think the other thing too is I'm a lot older, and I don't like when I play a game. I don't want to feel like I'm wasting my time. I want to feel like I'm getting something out of the time I put in. So if I'm in a game and it takes me, an hour just to do one simple quest, I feel like that time was not well spent. It's like I'd rather play my guitar. I'd rather log out a WoW and go play my guitar than sit in here for an hour fucking around, chasing around some mobs that don't exist because there's 3 other people on epic mounts killing them. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff. So I really like, actually, you know what I want to do? You know what I want to do? I haven't played. Let's kill all this shit. We don't need any of this stuff. We don't need this. Actually, we do need that. I haven't played Guild Wars 2 in a while. Steam, right? We are going to play, there's a couple MMOs coming, right? There's Dune. I'm going to play Dune. There's the Defiance one, but Defiance one I don't think it will keep my attention for very long because it's a FPS game, and it's just a re-release of an old MMO. But I've never played the original, and it kind of looks cool. I don't remember if I played Guild Wars 2. Let me go to my library. Did I play Guild Wars 2 through Steam? I probably did, right? Guild Wars 2? G. Alphabet, E, F, G. Oh, I didn't. I didn't play it through Steam. Okay. I mean, it looks like you can, but I would prefer not to if we don't have to. Quit. Let's go here. You're about to log in and play? Yeah, I know. That's what happens. If people start asking me about like what I like about MMOs, it almost always leads to me not wanting to play WoW. It almost always leads me to not wanting to play. Oh, thanks, yeah. It like almost always leads me not wanting to play World of Warcraft because I'm just like, because WoW isn't anymore the MMO that I want to play, that I want it to be. You know what I mean? It's like I don't want, So, and Guild Wars 2 is pretty cool. So let's go to Guild Wars 2, and let's say play now. Let's download. Download the installer. Guild Wars 2 is free, right? Open. Now, let's see if we can figure out my password. I think I know what it is. Let's see. I like to play Guild Wars 2 every once in a while because it is actually a really fun game. Well, it looks like I changed my password. Okay, where's he going to install it to? Oh, this is a really old. Let's take a look. 536 gig, 1.19 terabytes. It's 1.54. We can definitely get rid of that. I really should clean up my hard drive. Oh man, I got Blade and Soul Neo. Uninstall this. Doo-doo-doo. Yeah, I like Guild Wars 2. I like the PvP. The PvP is really fun. It's I don't want to say it's hard, but it is fun. Now, do I have to log into this to the purple launcher? God, let's see purple. I want to delete this game off my computer because I'm certainly. Oh, come on, really? Oh, I hate this shit. Bicycle, bicycle, bicycle. What? Bicycle, bicycle. I hate these captures. They're so stupid. Bicycle. I don't see no bike. I don't see no bike. Let's see. West accounts may fail to log in due to duplicate account. Leave me my password. Fuck you. Man, I fucking hate this shit. Close. Here we go. Okay, this is bullshit. I can't believe I have to launch Purple to uninstall this shit. And I can't even remember my password. And someone's texting my phone. It's my wife, of course. Fucking uninstall, man. Uninstall. Let's see. Voila. Open the Gmail app on your phone. Wow, really? Yes, it's me. Two-step verification. Continue. You're signing back into NCSoft. Verification successful. Okay, if I signed in, why is it not? Why is it not signed in here? What's going on? I just signed in. Come on. It says successful. You've signed in. Please complete. Okay, finally. Thank you, God. Good Lord. Just uninstall the game. Holy hell. How do I uninstall here? I don't want to sign. I just want to uninstall. Like, why do they make this shit so difficult? How hard is it to uninstall a fucking game? I hate purple software, man. Blade install. How do I uninstall? Ugh. You need to restart for the latest version of purple. Okay. You gotta love it. I hate it. I hate shit like this. I hate launchers too. I can't stand launchers. I mean, if they were good, I don't mind them, but this one's, but if they're like annoying like this one is, it's fucking, here, manage downloads maybe. Blade and Soul. You need to go. Yeah, you probably don't want to watch me fucking around with uninstalling stuff. Hey, no worries, Fred, man. Have a good day. I did. Oh, cool. No worries, dude. Yeah, I'm gonna probably play some Guild Wars 2, I think. Now look, it's updating Blade and Soul. It's literally updating 13.7 gig when I didn't even ask it to. All I said was manage downloads, and it just ran off and said, "Hey, I'm gonna update everything." It was like, what? Oh man. What other games are there that we can play? All this is basically telling me to bend over and read me from behind because I'm getting screwed just trying to uninstall a game, which is stupid. You know what we should do? You know what we should do? Let's play Elden Ring. I thought Elden Ring was really cool. The combat was weird though. All right, I'll see you, Fred. Have a good one, man. The problem with Elden Ring was the combat was a little weird. You know, like I'm not a fan of the controls in Elden Ring. Excuse me. Hold on a second. My wife was texting me. Mm-hmm. It's a video of a cat upside down. Cart. You think something to do with cat screwed your classic WoW file? You got to download it. I don't like I think the way I mean, I like the combat's cool, but like the control system, I don't like. I don't like the controls very well. How the character moves isn't kind of my favorite. I like more responsive like controls, like like Terra, like kind of that like World of Warcraft, the character controller where when you like strafe left, it immediately strafes left. There's no like delay, and you have the kind of spin in place like in a circle. It's hard to describe, but yeah. You enjoy Elden Ring? I don't think I would enjoy playing it though. I know a bunch of stuff about it though. My issue is that I hate limited resource like the upgrades stuff because I would never. Yeah, yeah, it is definitely a different. I'm, yeah. Did we ever get the stupid? Can we install this? Uninstall this game yet? What is this shit? Delete. I just want to delete. Delete. How do we delete? No, I don't want to update. I don't want to update. No, no, delete. Cancel. Okay, now let's try delete. Uninstall. Yes. Here we go. Uninstall game. So you actually have to say uninstall. Oh. The uninstallation cannot be canceled once it's started. It looks like it uninstalled already. Let's take a look at the. I think it was on the D drive, maybe. 574 gig. And we were seeing it, I think, under here, right? Yeah, I don't see it now. Let's see programs. Yeah, I don't see Blade and Soul. So it looks like I think it did uninstall it. Because when you search for it, it's gone. There's no Blade and Soul. I was just looking for a place where we could maybe install Guild Wars 2. I think. Let's go. This PC. Let's go programs, Guild Wars 2. Or if we don't have too many folders. I really need to clean up my hard drives. They're a little. These hard drives came from my old computer, so they're a little. Even though I kind of cleaned them up, they're still a little bit of a mess. They're still a little messy. We don't have a lot of folders here, so we could just go to the root, right? We could just install it to Guild Wars 2, although it's not here, like that. Okay. Let's just install it to the root. Yeah, I know. That was like a quick uninstall. Bada bing, bada boom. We're going to pin this to start. Delete. I always keep my desktop clear of garbage. Now, here's the fun part. What is my password? Should be my old. Looks like I changed my password, really? Email. Okay, of course. Nothing lets you log in anymore. You've always got to go do some bullshit and sign into your email and be like, yeah, this is me. There used to be, to you, your ArenaNet code is such and such. There used to be, Guild Wars 2 used to have a problem where it, like when they would send the verification, you know, you guys have probably run into this before, where when it would send the verification email, it wouldn't show up for like 10 minutes. And then of course, by the time you finally got it, it would expire. It's like, you must, you know, we've sent you a verification code. You must respond within like 5 minutes. And of course, the email would show up in 6 or 7 minutes. You're like, fuck. And then you'd have it send it again. And 6 or 7 minutes would go by and then you'd get it. And you're like, fuck. Because you wouldn't be able to authenticate. It was always taking too long to get the damn email. Thank God they fixed that. Anyways, I'm going to take a break because I don't want to sit here on a stream that's a World of Warcraft stream where I'm just downloading Guild Wars 2. But yeah, I don't know. We'll play Guild Wars 2, play some other MMO. But I'm really looking forward to a new MMO. We just don't have one yet. And I don't see anything. There's a couple MMOs that are coming that look interesting. I mean, Ion 2, Arcade Chronicles looks... Actually, Arcade Chronicles is probably the most interesting MMO that's coming. I just don't know if I trust that company. But Arcade Chronicles looks cool because it's got a nice action combat system. So if you look at Arcade Chronicles, it looks good. This was from 6 months ago. Here's a PlayStation trailer from 3 months ago. Let's watch this one.
So, how did it feel to learn the truth about the night sky tragedy? Long ago, you humans slaughtered each other until the whole world lay.
This is in-game footage here. Very action-based. Graphics look really good.
Chance in Aurora. It must be the will of your beloved.
Looks very Black Desert.
However, I still have no trust in your kind.
Looks like there's like shield block mechanics. There's evasion rolls, which I love. I mean, the combat looks really good. I see a few issues with it, but nothing major.
Prove yourself. If you survive this trial, perhaps you might become one of us.
Whenever I uninstall WoW and reinstall it, it takes 5 years. Yeah, I haven't uninstalled WoW in a long time. Like I moved when I got my new computer, I just took my hard drives out of the old one and put it in the new one, and so I uninstalled the launcher, but I left the actual the files where they were, and then I just reinstalled the launcher on the new computer and pointed it to the files, and it was done. But I actually did. Actually, that's not true. I did uninstall WoW just last week because I had an issue with my mouse cursor going to the top left corner of the screen. So I literally again I didn't like delete all the files. I just cleared out all of the Blizzard folders. I went to like the user profiles and deleted the Blizzard, the .NET folder, Battle.net folder, deleted all that shit. I uninstalled the game. I deleted pretty much. All I saved was the WTF folders, and the add-ons folder, and everything else I deleted. And then I just reinstalled the game, then put the WTF the content I wanted, cherry picked it, and then put the add-ons back, and just picked the ones I wanted, and yeah, and I was up and running pretty quickly. And it didn't fix my problem though, so it did all that, and it didn't even fix the issue I was having. So, but yeah, Arcade Chronicles I think looks good. And then there's Ion 2. I don't know what that one's called. Ion 2. I don't know if we have a gameplay. 6 years ago here. Ion 2. Ooh, 1 day ago.
Ion 2 News Report, April of 2025. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, it's coming. We have heard that information from NCSoft few months back that Ion 2 will be released on servers in Korea in Q4 of 2025.
So here's the problem. Ion 2, originally they said it was going to be a global release. And so we thought everybody was going to get it at the end of this year, or sometime this year, second half of this year. But then they recently changed it and said it's going to be a release in Korea first, then after a while release globally, which is what they normally do, which always sucks, by the way. Which means I will probably try my best to get an account on the Korean server so I can play Ion 2, the Korean version. I'll do my best to try to get account set up so I can play it then. And yeah, so I would imagine we may see Ion 2 in the US sometime at the end of, I'm going to guess, because it took, well, if you think about Throne of Liberty as an example, remember Throne of Liberty came out in Korea first. And it was about, I don't know, it was about a year probably, maybe before it came out here. Maybe longer, I don't know. But that would be what I would expect. If Ion 2 launches, let's say it launches in like November of this year, I would imagine it would launch in the United States probably at the earliest November of the next year, of 2026. So, which kind of sucks. But I'm going to do my best to get an account for the Korean version.
Shortly after, globally. What means shortly after? That could mean anything. It could be 2 or 3 months. It could be half year.
This guy's always talking about new MMOs. This Society of Gaming, his videos are almost always about like, new MMOs that are coming down the pipe,
However, it's definitely coming this year in Q4 of 2025 over there on servers in Korea. Don't worry, I got you covered. I will play this game on servers in Korea on the end of this year, and you will see lots of content here on my YouTube channel and also on my live streams on Twitch regarding Ion 2. But now let's focus on the main...
So he claims he's going to play it. I can't remember if he does videos on how to actually get into games. I'm trying to think.
Ion 2.
Let's see. Go to his channel and let's do a
with
search.
Release of new update on March.
And what we're going to do is we're going to do a search for how to play, right? How to play, and see if he's done any videos on how to play, like, how to play like games that are like Korea, how to play Blade and Soul on PC. Yeah, I don't see anything. Wow, I didn't know his channel's pretty old. Ion 7, how to play. Okay.
Topic of the video. Let's check what is happening with Ion 2 in April of 2025. Before we start, let me just say, subscribe to my YouTube channel to see more of Ion 2 videos in the future. First thing first, let's check latest new information regarding Ion 2 from NCSoft. Regarding release date for Korean and global version of the game, we have heard that information already a few months back. Now, we have this interview on Inven website with NCSoft. They are talking here about the business plans for the game.
I don't really want to watch any of that. Let's look. Is there a trailer? Ion 2 gameplay trailer 4 months ago.
Ion 2 will target a global market but will take a completely different approach from Throne and Liberty in terms of game design content, especially focused on combat, the monetization and the marketing strategies. It also sounds as if it emphasized progression and co-op play rather than competitive play, which would be a big deviation from original Ion. The biggest difference from the game Ion is that there are no longer the two opposing factions, Ilios and Asmodeans. Players are free to choose to invade others or defend. Another eye-opener is the claim of not having class segmentation in Ion 2, with players able to wield different weapons without restrictions and choose their playstyle. NCSoft claims that Ion 2 will showcase a new battle system that did not exist in the old Ion. Finally, another huge change is the removal of gliding constraints found in Ion. NCSoft is aiming to
Yeah, in the original Ion, when you had your wings and you jumped off like a high point, or when you flew, you could only fly for a certain amount of time. And there were different things you could do to increase the length. There were potions you could take. There was like better wings that had bonuses to flight time. But basically, most people could only fly anywhere from like maybe a minute to a minute and a half, maybe not even that long. I think the most I could ever get up to flying was maybe like a minute, where you could actually fly a minute before you had to land. Now they're saying unlimited flight, which is kind of cool.
make gliding part of the combat loop to create a three-dimensional battle system. This game, it's a MMORPG, going to release on PC, consoles, and mobile. They did not mention what engine Ion 2 is developed on, but my guess is Unreal Engine 5. The game will be released globally in 2025. The marketing campaign...
Yes, he says it released globally. It's not true. They changed that. It was going to be released globally, but they changed it. So anyway, so those are the games. So we've got Ion 2, but I'm actually way more interested. I think Arc Age Chronicles looks a lot more interesting than Ion 2. Also, I don't know. It just looks more interesting. There's other MMOs that are coming, but I don't think any of them really look that great. Even like Crimson Desert looks interesting. It's more of a single player game, I think. But it looks good. Crimson Desert. I don't know if there's anything recent. Here 12 days ago, here's a new gameplay demo. So this is Crimson Desert, and I definitely think I'll play this game, even though it might be more of a single player game, but it just looks... Originally it was gonna be an MMO. It says this is cloth-based. Yeah, hey, what's up, Vols? So this is cloth-based inherent simulation, so they're just kind of demoing some... I mean, the horse looks really... Look at the horse. The horse looks excellent, and the sound effects are really good. That horse looked really good. Watch how the horse moves. Watch how he turns. No, he turns really good. Like right here, over that rock. That was really good. What? Well, I don't know. Like, well, originally it was going to be an MMO. I think it's more like, well, think of like, to me, Crimson Desert almost feels like, what's that single player RPG game that was like with The Witcher? This almost feels to me like Witcher 3, Only I don't think it's going to be anywhere as good as The Witcher 3. Oh, this is interesting. Okay, ray tracing off. The clothes look a lot better, but... Look at the difference here should be in the flowers. Nah. Shadows look better. A little bit too much specular. The ground definitely looks better. Like, if you look at the ground here, it's really dark and looks like it's almost wet. That's what I was talking about. The specular highlighting seems a little bit off. Notice how the ground brightens up and looks a lot more realistic. Yeah, it looks a lot better with ray tracing on. Oh, look at the... All the rocks look too much similar in color, don't they? All the rocks, the color of the rocks looks a little too similar. The colors look off. I see a lot of like everything looking almost wet. I don't know. And there's a lot of like colors. See the red and the greens in the water. I don't, and the way they're like patchy. That doesn't really look that great to me. I don't know. This is a time lapse, 250 speed. So this is showing the weather. This is showing the skybox. Let's see how dark it gets. Oh, it gets pretty dark. Yeah, that looks pretty good. That looks pretty good. Yeah, you don't know why it exists. So, Val, so you're saying who is it targeting? Is that what you're saying? Like, what's the target audience? I mean, to me, the thing that I heard about Crimson Desert, it was initially going to be an MMO, and then they changed it. My question is it single player, or is it like one of those games where it's like you can play with like a couple people? You know, like that's the thing. Is it? It's a single player action adventure made. It says the same folks who built Black Desert. Yeah, so it is a single player game. Yeah, I don't think it's going to do very well because the problem is they made it look. The problem is they built it to be like an MMO, but now they're trying to make it a single player, and I just think that it's going to, you know. Yeah, I hated the Jon Snow ripoff aspect. I totally agree with that. Yeah. Yeah, because the main character looks so much like Jon Snow, it's ridiculous. But I think this game will probably flop just because people will want to play this as an MMO. Like you advertise an MMO, it looks like an MMO, but it doesn't really have an IP to it. It doesn't really have that story. Like you have a game like The Witcher that has this story to it that people know and love, and so of course it's an RPG. I think it'll be very difficult for this game to be successful. I still will probably want to play it just because it looks really good, and if the combat's really cool, especially if it's like bow combat, you know, that's really good, I'll still probably want to play it. But it's one of those games where you're going to be playing it, and if it's really good, you're just going to be sitting there the whole time, at least me, saying, God, I wish this was an MMO. That's the way when I played Dragon's Dogma, the original Dragon's Dogma, that's what I always felt like. I was like, this game's great, but man, I just wish it was an MMO, you know? I wish I could play with my friends, you know? Or play with other people. They don't have to be my friends, you know what I mean? Just other people. Kind of a red flag? Yeah. Well, I don't necessarily agree with that. I mean, you're showing off the systems. I mean, these are things that people want to know about. These are things people want to know. People want to know what the day-night cycle looks like. I know I do. But if you're marketing it based on that, yeah, that could be a red flag. It depends on what else they're going to show, right? Now this is just a repeat. They already showed. Oh, this is more stuff.
That must be the foolish healer.
But the graphics don't look very good. Like the detail. And maybe this is just like an early version, but you can see the detail on his cloak doesn't look quite right. There's a lot of textures that look really low res. Like this cloth looks really low res. The wood looks really low res. You know what I mean? A lot of this looks really low res. And I don't know if that's because if they ran it with the high res textures that it just runs like dog shit, Vals. You know what I mean? But a lot of the stuff here is very low res. You mean he doesn't hear you coming up, all that noise you're making? And you were making a ton of noise. You don't think those other guys heard him screaming from 2 feet away? Okay, well, initially my complaint would be what I talked about earlier. Earlier in the stream, Voss, I said, what's the biggest thing that MMO makers can get wrong? I was talking about MMOs. This is an RPG, and difficulty. Games should be challenging and difficult. What about this was in any way challenging or difficult? He walked up to one guy, stabbed him in the neck, came over and smashed a few other goblins. They didn't even swing their weapons at him. Like, what was challenging in any of this sequence? Nothing. It's like he didn't do anything. Oh, I killed this guy and then I killed those guys. Why is that even fun? You know what I mean? The game makers focus on trying to make things that look cool. And they just assume that because it looks cool, you're gonna like it. Looking cool is great, but that doesn't last. You know, like when people, there's a lot of MMOs that come out that look really good. Like, oh, the graphics are great and the combat looks really good. But then if there's nothing else to the game, it just falls. I mean, Black Desert kind of almost fell victim to that. When Black Desert came out, it's like the combat was amazing. And the graphics were amazing. But then after that, what are you going to do? And it was tough because Black Desert was such a complicated MMO. There were so many complicated systems. And there was a lot of fall off of people leaving because they just didn't know what to do. Like, there was no dungeons. There was really no dungeons in Black Desert. There was no, like, raids. So people just left. You know, they leveled to 60 and they're like, well, what do I do now? You know what I mean? And there's a lot more to do in Black Desert, but it's more around like life systems and crafting and building boats and sailing and fishing and farming and, you know, and then but then in its base element, it's just a PvP game though. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, there's no customization. Well, see, that'll make me not play the game right there. If I'm forced to play a character that looks like this and I can't choose, I can't customize it, then I won't even play. I won't even play the game. If you force me to look like Jon Snow, I'll be like, nah, I'll pass. it's like I'll pass. So, anyways, I gotta go because my wife was texting me, and I gotta spend some time with her. I'll come back and stream in I don't know, a couple hours or something. I don't know. I'm probably just gonna play some Guild Wars 2. I'm just bored of the WoW nonsense. So let's close this down. Let's close purple down. Exit. Close this down. Quit. And let's see if we can uninstall purple real quick. Add, remove. I really don't like purple. It's really annoying. Install. Do you want to reset all accounts, passwords, and settings for purple and multiplayer? Yes, I do. They were all fucked up, to be honest. Yeah, but this is still downloading. But I was talking about like what MMOs are coming down the pipe. You know, once again, and you know, we have Dune, which looks like it could be mildly entertaining. Didn't get a chance to play Defiant because I was busy yesterday with my wife, and then by the time I got home and tried to play, it was like too late. I think it was like 12:30 in the morning this morning or something, and apparently the stress test was just like 5 hours long or something. It started at like 5 and went to like 11 p.m. It went like from yesterday to like 3 or 5 p.m. to like 11 p.m. or something. I missed it entirely. But the release is only a couple weeks away. But I don't know how that's going to be even anything really worth playing. So, anyways, I'll catch you guys later. I'll come back and stream some Guild Wars 2 later probably.